Hey everyone, this is Bob Kovacs here at Wirefly with a brand new device. This is the HTC Merge and it runs on the Verizon network. Now the Merge is a 3G phone. It is not a 4G phone. As you can see, it's made by HTC and it has HTC's Sense user interface. This is HTC's famous clock widget right here on the main screen. It runs Android 2.2 and of course it has all the great Android features that we like to see. There's lots of widgets for things and you can load whatever apps you want on the screen and so forth. So that's all very good. It has lots of good Android goodness about it. I do not have this phone activated at the moment. I do have it on the local Wi-Fi. And as I said, it runs on Verizon. For some reason, it's been showing that it is roaming. When you see a little triangle like that, it means that the phone is roaming. No idea why this is roaming because I do get a strong signal on Verizon, although as I said, the phone is not yet activated. Now the Merge is a sliding keyboard phone. There you go. Looks like the keyboard has got lots of room. I think it would have been nice if they had found space for a fifth row so that they could have a dedicated number row. But in any event, there you go. Now this has a 3.8-inch diagonal screen with a resolution of 480 by 800 pixels. And it's a very good looking bright screen. Now I brought down with me another phone on Verizon that's also a sliding keyboard phone. This is the Motorola Droid 2 Global. Motorola Droid 2 Global. It's an international phone that's available from Verizon. It'll work either domestically or internationally. And it's also a sliding keyboard phone. Now the Droid 2 Global has a 3.7-inch screen, so the screen is slightly smaller, but you can see how big it is overall compared against the Merge. The Droid 2 Global is slightly shorter, but it's about as wide, and it has a sliding keyboard. Let's go back there, just like the Merge does. So it also has 4 rows, but the Merge gives you some extra space there, so I'm surprised that HTC didn't put in a 5th row of keys. So that's how the Merge stacks up against another sliding keyboard phone. HTC doesn't have a lot of background making sliding keyboard phones, but one that it did recently was the Evo Shift, which is running on the Sprint network. In any event, here we have the HTC Merge. Okay, let me give you some basic background on it. As I said, it's a 3G phone, so it connects to Verizon's EVDO Rev-A network domestically for download speeds that are typically going to be 1 to 2 megabits of data per second. That's what you typically get with an EVDO Rev-A network. And it has 1 gig of internal storage. It comes with an 8 gig micro SD card already installed. It has an 800 megahertz processor. It has 512 megabytes of RAM, that's processor RAM, to run programs and so forth. Now on the back, it does have a camera and an LED flash. The HTC Merge has a 5 megapixel still image camera and it can do 720p HD video, although you have to be careful because when I took it out of the box it was set for both a lower resolution on still image and a lower resolution for the video as well. And I took some pictures with the HTC Merge and wasn't really blown away by the focus. The first picture I took was a little still life on my desk and the focus was kind of blurry with this. But I went ahead and I did a macro shot. I held the camera closer and did a close-up shot, and that close-up shot was spectacular. The clarity was really wonderful. And when I zoom in on the dime, you can see that the focus is just excellent. So then I took the camera outside and I shot a little video with it outside, and it was really not that impressive outside as well. It was very contrasty. The blacks were very black, and the focus was not all that good. It focused wonderfully on something close up, but not at a distance. Let's go ahead and run that video now. Okay, this is a test of the video from the HTC Merge. That's the Wirefly building there, the brick building. It's a cool spring day. It's been cool and dreary and drizzly for a couple of days now, but the drizzle has stopped and there's a promise of sun. In a couple of weeks there'll be some leaves on those trees there. But it is still a cool, cloudy spring day, and that's an example, a video from the HTC Merge. So as you saw there, the focus on the objects in the distance was not very good. So once the camera set its focus on the close-up item, which was the holly bush, then it didn't refocus for the distance, which is kind of a disappointing performance. Now I've loaded some benchmark tests. I've got Quadrant and SmartBench 2011 on the Merge. So let's go ahead and run the tests. I'll run Quadrant first, and I'll go ahead and run the full benchmark. What I will do is turn the camera off and then come back when it's ready to finish the benchmark. That is the last of the 3D graphics tests for Quadrant. Let's go ahead and get the results. And the results on Quadrant for the Merge are really very good. That's 1,481 on a Quadrant test for a phone with the internal specifications that this has. That is really a pretty good performance on Quadrant. As you can see, it outscores pretty much everything else that's in that chart. Okay, so it did very well on Quadrant. Let's go ahead and run SmartBench. Takes a little while for SmartBench to come up. Here we go. Now again, I'm going to turn the camera off, but first I want to say that I do have this connected using Wi-Fi. The network connection, such as the fact I'm using it with Wi-Fi, has nothing to do with the benchmark results for either Quadrant or SmartBench. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off, and we'll come back when we're about ready to be finished. This is the last test that's part of the SmartBench 2011 suite of tests. It's called the Jellyfish test. So it should be wrapping up in just a moment, and then we'll get the numbers. Taking a little while to fetch the chart information. This shows, now of course SmartBench gives you two scores. One is the productivity index and the other is the games index. And the HTC Merge scored 1,011 on the productivity index and 1,055 on the games index. That's good, not great. It's middle of the pack for an Android phone. There's a couple of other things that I want to show about the HTC Merge. Let's go back to Quadrant for just a moment. Look at the system information. There it says I'm running Android 2.2. This said when the device was being developed, its name for in HTC's development process was the Lexicon with a K. And here you see that it's got a CPU maximum frequency of 806 megahertz and the display resolution as well. So I wanted everybody to see that. Let's go back here. Let's go to the back. I want to take the back cover off and show you what's under the back cover because there is something interesting. There's the pre-installed 8 gig micro SD card. The battery is a 1400 milliamp hour battery. It looks very, very similar to the battery that's in the HTC Thunderbolt. And here you see a SIM card. Now Verizon uses a couple of different SIM cards. One of the SIM cards that Verizon uses is for its 4G LTE network. The other SIM card is for international operation, and that's what you have here. This SIM card is a Verizon SIM that is to be activated when you use the HTC Merge globally. So if you're going to Europe, you're going to Asia, you're making a trip to where they have GSM services, this is the SIM card that you are going to need for those services, and you will need to activate it with Verizon. I know what you're going to ask me. You're going to ask me if you can pop an AT&T or a T-Mobile SIM in here, and I do not know the answer. My gut feeling is that no, you can't unless you buy an unlocked version of the HTC Merge. If you get the HTC Merge from Verizon and you want to use it internationally, you're going to have to take it to Verizon and get this card activated for international use. So that is a look at the HTC Merge from Verizon. It's a sliding keyboard Android 2.2 phone. Looks very nice, has a beautiful 3.8-inch display screen. Hey everyone, this is Bob Kovacs here at Wirefly. Thanks for watching.